So, welcome to my first budgeting plan with me in my budget planner. I'm using a happy planner from 2022, apparently. So, I've already put the stickers down to date, which, as you can see, I'm not very good at. I've tried using like tweezers in the past, and it still just kind of comes out a little bit awkward, but this is not terrible. I don't typically do a whole lot of decorating when I do budget spreads because I feel like that just becomes a distraction from what's actually important. So, this will probably be one of the few I do on my channel. I'm going to use these three to represent the different paychecks and what comes out of them. I think that's cool to do on a monthly spread. I like the look of it. So for one thing, I kind of like using the progression of blue to kind of break up what bills are coming from what payday. But also I am a paycheck budgeter. So typically when I look at the whole month, I find that that is when I end up missing things. I also don't use a ton of stickers, but I am kind of in a phase right now of use it or lose it, frankly. So I've got a couple a couple of sheets here from a budgeting sticker book, which is cool. But like the problem with sticker books is even if they have a good function or if they're decorative or whatever the case may be, I end up using about 50% of the stickers because half of the book is something I don't want to use. So I would much rather, going forward, I don't need to restock on stickers anytime soon, but I would rather go to like Etsy or something like that because I can select the actual sheets that I want. I can order more customized stickers that are more personalized to what I'm actually trying to do. Sticker books, I think, are in general a waste of money. There are very few instances where an entire sticker book is going to be something that I will use completely. So anyways, no one asked what I feel about sticker books, but in case you were curious, now you know. I'm not going to worry about covering the incorrect holidays. I know by looking at my spread that these are incorrect. The only things I want to actually cover before I get started on everything else is covering up 2022 and covering up these dates down here. So let's see what I've got that I can use for something like that. I'm not a fan of layering stickers, but I think layering some of like the washi strips might do the trick. But then the problem becomes the strip is not going to be enough to cover the whole word. So then I would need another strip like directly behind it or on top of it or something. This one is thick enough. I wish this one was thick enough because this one has some actual blue on it. And since I'm going to use more blues, that would work a little bit better. But of what I have... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's like a soft blue right there. Okay, and that's a thicker one. So we're going to try this. And then if I need to reposition or add another sticker, we'll see. I'll turn it this way. Another reason I don't film. Okay, so we're going to cut this in half in just a second. Oops. Shit. See, this is exactly why I don't like filming stuff like this. Because I can never get it quite right. All right, let's just go nice and slow. You know, for all the stationery I have and all that stuff, getting an actual X-Acto knife or whatever would be pretty helpful. All right, so it's not the ideal of what I would actually want to go right there, but if I can put something else around it so that that doesn't look quite as janky, then we're good. For this section down here, I think this one actually will work. Not perfectly, but enough. Okay. All right, that'll work. Another thing I don't like about using washi specifically is I'm just not good at putting it down. I can use a ruler, I can use something to direct me, whatever the case may be. It just does not go well for me. And then part of the page is janky because it ends up making the page not straight because it's pulling on the page a little bit. Okay, next up is paydays. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use my my markers in just a second. And then I will go through and actually put my bills down. Now, I am behind on bills, so instead of putting when they are actually due, I'm going to make sure that I mark down when they're actually going to be paid. So that way I'm planning ahead properly. Okay, so I'm going to use this one first. I'm just going to take, I guess the green payday stickers. I was going to try to find something that, again, had a little bit more of a blue tone to it, but I don't think I have anything like that in this pack. This is not going to be straight either. Okay, that's not bad. I'm just not good at getting things aligned just right on the page. Never have been, never will be. What are you going to do? All right, so there's that. We're off to a decent start. Not terrible. Okay, so I want to do the lightest blue first. Get my little Laurel Denise ruler here. I'm going to basically draw the line down and then write the bills and then write what's being paid from that paycheck. So I can put these relatively close to the numbers, and then I'm going to use the non-fine side to write my lines. So lightest blue is from the paycheck that I got November 25th. Then the medium blue will be to cover December 9th, and then the last one will be for December 23rd. Okay. Another thing is when I use a ruler, see, that looks horrible. That looks so bad. This is why I don't film stuff like this. See, those are not terrible, but this one is like, obviously, I don't know how to make sure that my ruler is straight. Like once I get it in place, I can draw my line. But how do I make sure that the ruler itself is exactly straight? Of course, also, like, the mic is, like, in between me, so I think it's kind of messing with my vision a little bit. And, I mean, at the end of the day, there's more important things than whether or not my lines are completely straight, but I care more about the functionality, but still. Just gets on my nerves. Especially when I watch other plan with me's, and, you know, I watch someone else, and they're just killing it, you know? Their lines are straight, and their X-Acto knife cut is just right, and they got it going on, you know? And I obviously don't. All right. This is gonna be, let's see, another thing that I did not even think of before I started doing this is that most of the time I use this ruler, it's a pen that that's like a ballpoint or something. Now I'm using a marker directly on the ruler, so it's messing up my ruler too. Really not the best at this kind of stuff. All right. The 23rd. I'm also not used to talking while I'm actually doing this. I kind of prefer it this way. I think doing this is a lot more efficient than having to do a voiceover later after the fact. So I kind of like doing it this way, but I do find it also to be a little bit distracting. So I think sometimes it might not be the best thing to do. All right, so let's start up here. Okay, so before I go through and add what I'm paying and when, I'm going to add just a couple more decorative stickers, I think. I guess maybe not decorative, so that should be pretty functional. Okay. Auto pay. I'm going to put that on the 9th because I want to move one of my credit cards. I'm going to have to look at my list in a second. But one of them I want to move to auto pay. I'm going to hold off on the rest and a couple other bills. I have a hit or miss relationship with auto pay. The main thing is that stuff doesn't come out on the date they say it's going to, and that's like my biggest. That's very much a pet peeve for me. I really don't like that. It just makes me feel like that's just how it goes. So it's like there's no point calling them up and complaining about it, but I just kind of feel like it makes it harder to plan. And then it also, as someone who budgets by paycheck, it's like you plan for something coming out on the 8th, and then maybe it comes out on the 9th or 10th, and that's a whole different thing. So that just kind of messes up how I track things. So for things that I put on autopay that come out differently than when they say it will, I will take it off autopay in a heartbeat. Y'all want to play? We can play. I really like this. I want to find something that can go in here so that it doesn't look so blank. May your goals be big and your wallet be bigger. I really like this one. Maybe that can go on my spread somewhere. Good things come to those who budget. That one might actually fit. But I don't think it would look... It's clear. It's a clear background, so I don't think it's going to stand out the way I want it to on there. I like the almost there sticker. Embrace change. Know your worth. There's quite a few that there you go. I will not spend all of my money. I think that one's going to have the same problem, though. Work to earn. That's a good one to have on the spread somewhere, because one thing that's been on my mind pretty heavily lately is I'm in a point where I've relied on one income for so long. So I spent most of my adult life working basically 2 to 3 jobs at pretty much all time. And eventually I realized not only does it burn me out and make me basically a bad employee because I can't contribute as much as I should be able to, it didn't get me where I wanted to go. So I realized it was a waste. So a few years ago, I kind of dedicated myself to I'm working one job and one full-time job only. And if I do take a part-time job or anything like that, it's going to be for no more than 6 months at a time. And I think now is a time where, since I'm behind on things and I want to get back on track, I might want to take 6 months and have a part-time. So that's actually, I'm going to put that on here somewhere. Put that down here because I think that's a good reminder. I have my schedule is not very consistent, but it's enough that I can put in the work and make money in other ways in my spare time, and I'm not really doing that right now. I don't know if the rim will show up, but the black should show up just fine. Okay, well, this one apparently is, oh, there we go. Okay. I had a lot of trouble getting that one up for a minute. Pay those bills. I'll pay them all late in December, but I will pay them. Okay. So I'm going to take my fine tip, and there's just a couple of things. I'm going to do my grocery shopping. on Tuesday. Most of my stuff is basically being paid late. So rent's not going to be paid till the 9th, along with late fees. Car note's going to be paid the 9th or 10th. So I got a lot going on this month because of things that happened at the end of November. So there would be more bills that I would pay in this first week. I'm going to go ahead and get my, groceries. And that's going to be a $25 budget. So I have gone from doing groceries basically payday or the day after to doing grocery shopping every week. So I've gone from a $50 budget to a $25 budget that's weekly. So I'm done with this one because that's the only thing that I plan ahead to spend. Sometimes I will kind of retroactively track some of these things, but I'll do that in other places, not on my monthly spread. All right, so quite a few things here. Okay. So we have rent, $13.46. We have, unfortunately, late fees of $200. And we have the Nissan car note, $566. At this point, I am going to move, I think we'll do credit card 1 to auto pay and see how that goes. All right. Next up, we have oops. I keep taking off the wrong side. And I need to be careful when I'm taking this stuff off too, because I keep marking up my fingers and it's very obvious. I am paying off some debt. That's going to be $235. What's the next thing? This is going to be credit cards 1 and 3. One of those will be on auto pay at that point, so that's pretty cool. Then we have savings, $50. So basically, I auto transfer a minimum amount to my savings account every single payday. It usually pulls out the day after payday. And then as I get closer to my next paycheck, anything extra that I can put in there, I will. So usually for each pay period, it'll be like an extra $10 here lately. But every now and then it might be another whole 50. It might be another 75, 100. Really just depends on what I can do. But that's going to be my minimum for every single paycheck. In 2026, that amount's probably going to change to $80. Or possibly 100 if I think I can do that. We'll see. I will probably do the actual grocery shopping on the 9th, but that box is kind of full. So I'm going to put my groceries over here. So the reason I'm doing this every week now is that I find if I want to get fresh foods and I want them to stay fresh, like I find that I'm wasting some food. So first of all, that's money that's thrown away, but also I'm eating healthier instead of going for a trip that's like, okay, what's shelf stable? What's something I don't have to worry about going bad? I don't think that's the best way to approach my grocery shopping, because another thing that's important to me right now is making sure that I am eating healthier. That's a big goal for me in 2026. I will say one thing I think I could have done a little bit differently was I think it would have been better to choose different blues, because now that I'm looking at this one stands out as different, but these two look a little bit too similar. So it's not quite the visual effect I was hoping for, but I'm not really used to these pens. All right, so next up is power. So I would say in the summer, I can usually keep my power bill under 50. In the winter, it's a little bit harder. So we're going to go with 90, I think. I should be okay if it's a little bit more than that. So we'll see what happens. I am loving this pen, by the way. This is a Paper Studio. I just got this today. I've never used it before. I especially like the Sharpie pen. This is a very similar feel and results. So I'm pretty happy with the quality of this. Oops. See, again, like you would think I would get used to the fact that this is the fine line end, but I'm not going to. I'm trying to decide if this bill is the 17th or the 18th. I think it's the 17th. Nissan insurance. $340. All right, that should be everything from that paycheck. So now we're down to the dark blue. So we're going to do groceries again on the 24th. That's going to be credit card 2 on the 29th. Pet insurance. I don't know why I'm doing these one at a time. Like, I know these, but I should have made a list, I guess, because I guess now that I'm filming, it's kind of, I'm just kind of zoning out a little bit. I don't know, like, I kind of preferred, like, speaking in real time, but it is genuinely distracting, and I'm forgetting what I need to write down and also what I'm trying to explain. Now, if I find that I'm basically throwing out as much food as I was before and I'm not eating that much healthier and it doesn't seem to be working, I may go back to bi-weekly grocery budgeting or bi-weekly grocery shopping, but for now this is really working for me, actually. That's going to be credit card 2. This is going to be, oops. That should be a 125. So credit card 1 is fully caught up. I may not actually need a $75 payment. Unless something happens and I like need to use my credit card. I might not have to do that, but credit card 3 and credit card 2, I still am carrying a balance. So definitely want to knock those out. And pet insurance is 105. So pretty much the only thing that's like a regular expense that I don't actually track on my monthly spread is my gas expenses, just because I don't always get gas on the same days. Usually when I fill my tank, it'll last me almost 2 full weeks. So it's usually a day or two before my next payday that I actually have to fill up. Okay, so now that everything's filled out, I have a little bit more room to play with. As far as decorating, which I don't normally do because the whole point of the monthly spread is to just have a visual month at a glance look at what's coming up, what I need to take care of, what I got going on. So it's really just a reference point. That being said, I don't even always fill out the monthly because I budget by paycheck anyways. So you probably will not see very many of these on my channel. What you will see coming up in this budget book is planning my purchases and tracking sales and stuff so I can plan ahead for those kind of things, because that's definitely an area that I'm trying to improve. Because when there is something I need to spend money on, I feel like a lot of times I'm not getting the best deal. Oh, you know what I wanted to add on here? Here we go. No eating out. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yes. And it's a Sunday start. So a lot of times these stickers that are like a habit tracker, they have a Monday start, and that's not how I plan. So I am really happy that these are here. Now, I don't believe in being like too strict about this kind of stuff. Like, I don't think it's the end of the world if you eat out from time to time. It's not gonna break the budget. It's not gonna... Well, I do eat healthier when I'm at home, so health-wise, it's probably a good thing. So I'm going to give myself 2 weeks here of 0 eating out. And the other weeks, I'll probably just eat out a couple of days. It's really not that serious, I think, to have 1 or 2 meals out. But in general, it's been a pretty solid habit for me, and that I want to change. Now, I don't see myself using these stickers, which again is why I'm not a fan of sticker books, but I really do actually like this design. I think that's really cute and very functional. Also, if I didn't want to use these payday stickers, I love stickers that are just like basically like a cartoon dollar bill. I think those are a great way to mark your or see something like that. Isn't that cute? I love stickers like that. That's cool. All right, this one I'm going to put in this unused box. Okay, the ones that are not just like the matte stickers that have this thing, like these stickers are really not coming up easily. So I don't know if it's something I'm doing or... Oops. Gotta put it upside down. Again, started out straight and then it just wasn't. It's whatever. May your goals be big and your wallet be bigger. Absolutely love that. I don't really feel the need to fill out any space on the spread. If there's anything I can put on the side though, or maybe in this bottom corner to kind of finish it out, I'm pretty much done at this point. So at this point, I have all of the important stuff. It's really just a matter of filling some things in. I will say the past several paychecks, I have not put anything additional into my savings besides just the auto transfer. So put that right at the top, nice and bright where I can see it. I think that's a good reminder to have. Obviously, I want to be setting aside my savings, so it's not that I don't care about that stuff, but it's one of those things, I think it's very easy, especially when you have money left over. Here lately, I don't, so that's kind of been helping me out, but it sucks, but it's been helping me out because when you have that extra money or it's like you have a cushion, sometimes your brain just goes, oh, this is something I can spend. And you really have to have a lot of discipline to work past that and go, nope, this isn't something you can just spend. I don't think I'm going to use any more stickers, honestly. Like, I feel like my spread's a little bit lame. I feel like I could use a little something else, but didn't shop online stickers. Bye. Those would be good to, if I was planning a shopping trip coming up, like I might use those to notate when I'm actually buying the item, and then like a week or two before put like, make sure you print this coupon, make sure you save this coupon, whatever the case may be. I think I'm just gonna leave that as is. I could have swore there were these that I set aside, maybe one of these. What does this say? Purchases of the week. I'm trying to find something that can kind of make this area pop a little bit, and then I'm done. Savings goal. Okay, so on this spread, we have, I did forget something. Let me write that down real quick. So based on when my auto transfer to savings is coming up, I will end up with just $100 added to savings for the month. Let's see if I can manage to do a full 150. I kind of feel like I should make that a little bit higher, but until I'm fully caught up on my bills, I'm just going to leave it at that. 150 is fine. I love, and the thing with these kind of stickers, I love the design, but then it's like something I'm not going to use. Like this, the size of it isn't really going to work for anything that I want to do. The size and shape of this is not something I'm going to use. This week I will not spend money on. Kind of like that one. I'm just not sure what kind of spread it would actually work with for me. Stick to your goals, goal end date, goal met. I love the design of it. It's just so much of it is just like not for me what I want. I mean, it's not bad. You know what I mean? It's not bad. Rip paycheck. Ain't that the truth? Honestly, the thing is, if you can get ahead of your bills and get to a point where you're not living paycheck to paycheck, every paycheck is not just gone the moment it comes in. Instead, you're kind of setting aside. So bonus money and months where you have 3 paychecks instead of 2, that should feel like extra money. But when you're living to paycheck, it doesn't. So even though you have more than you usually do, it's like it doesn't benefit you. These are pretty cool. Budget goal, end of month check-in. Oops, not quite, or yay. See, those are something that I could use because that's like, they're a little bright, so I'm not too crazy about that, but it's functional. You got this week's spending. You've got, these would be cool to use on a monthly like spread, but then it's like these are such different colors and you only have a few of them. So it's like there would be no, aesthetic or even all that functional way to use these. So I don't see the point. And then you have another sheet with the same stickers, but they're different colors. So you still don't have, what you need. So I don't quite get the point of that, I guess. And see, like something like this, I would use this if I was actually like writing my budget out here. So maybe I could use that somewhere else, maybe on my paycheck budgets. I love this stay on track washi, account balances, savings, debt, income, investment, retirement. Might be cool to put little check-in stickers like that for your accounts. And then I got some more calculators. All right, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Like, I feel like this is empty space that I could utilize, but I don't have other stickers in front of me, and I don't feel like searching. So that's all I'm going to do for this monthly spread. I don't like to post paycheck budgets that are not authentic to what I'm actually paying, and I want to use real actual numbers. So because there are things I don't want to share with the public on my next couple paychecks, I probably will not be posting any paycheck budgets for at least another month, maybe a month and a half. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this plan with me, because I just won't have anything to post that's kind of an overhead video like this. So this is what I got for the month. And as long as I stick to my plan, by January, I will be fully caught up on everything and in a pretty good place.